Counterpunch with another video review. And this time we're going to be taking a look at the Transformer Collector Club exclusive Punch Counterpunch figure, which is a repaint slash retool minorly of these two guys, Sunstreaker and Sideswipe. Two of my absolute favorite Transformers from the Classic 2.0 line gets the natural repaint for this guy. Or, more specifically, that guy. Punch Counterpunch has always been a favorite of a lot of people, and he's very kind of rare. He wasn't in too much in terms of the cartoon or anything like that. I can only really think of one episode he was actually in. He probably was in more in the later Headmasters cartoons, but I never watched any of those. But here's my G1 version of Punch Counterpunch, and I'll show him off a little bit later on. I'll just set him at the top. But you got these two guys right here. You got this guy. I'm going to set him in the back. We have the packaging form, which is really nice. This is my very first Collector Club figure that I've ever gotten, and I want to thank my good friend JT Mitchell for helping me pick this up. I'm not actually a member of the Collector Club. He is, and was able to order this for me, and I'm amazingly excited. And it says that it's an adult collectible not intended for use by children. Which is weird, because it's basically the same exact figure as that. But the packaging on here is very nice. It comes in this very thick, very nice box. You've got the Transformers timeline. Really nice Autobot Decepticon mixture logo. You see on the back here. Nothing too spectacular, but it is amazing. I'm just going to... It's so thick. I mean, you slide it, and it's taking forever. I mean, it is heavy-duty... heavy-duty, thick box. Very, very nice. Very nice display piece. I'm definitely going to keep this. And then when you get him, whoop, there he is. In this big, giant foam thing. So, get this out of the way. And you just remove them by reaching in there and grabbing them and pulling them out. Kind of fixing what you have, and you have a nice, beautifully colored blue version of Sunstreaker and Sideswipe. Now you got the foam insert right there. When you take the foam bit out, and it smells bad. For some reason, this foam is really rancid smelling. Don't eat this. This is bad. Throw this away. It's gel. I actually don't know what this is. I think somebody once told me that this is like an oxygen absorber or something. I have no idea. Whoop. But then when you get it inside, you got the nice little card with the tech specs and everything on here. And it says, as the explosions roar and lasers blast slam into armor plating, Punch remains cool and aloof. It's a characteristic that his fellow Autobots envy during this time of war. However, buried in his processors deep below this false aura of composure lurks a rampant paranoia with which the Autobot spy is in constant conflict. Recently, this paranoia has become so intense that when in infiltration mode, Punch has started to black out due to immense fear. When he reboots, he finds that he has no recollection of how he has completed the mission, but is always thankful that his Counterpunch persona has seemingly pursued the objective on his own. So Punch Counterpunch, he's actually an Autobot. He is an Autobot, but he has the ability to change and become Counterpunch, and then it's just on cardboard, so nothing spectacular there. And then the instructions. Sure, that's all that is. So you got the nasty smelling foam, put that right back in there. And I love how that's cut out to fit the vehicle itself. So here we have him, and as you can see, a very nice, very nicely colored vehicle mode. He's got the nice, I don't know if you can really see this, but there's a sparkle to his paint job, and you can really see that very well on the hood here, and it goes throughout the entire vehicle itself. And of course, Decepticon logo on there because my lights are really bright, they're really hot, really nice looking. I really love the way that it stays true, except for the back part, of how the Generation 1 vehicle looks. Very nice looking, almost the same size. Oops. Almost the same size, but it's nice how it's got the red rims and everything. Very nice looking. I really like the way this guy looks. Almost to the point where, you know what, I almost want to remove this and not even have that on there. Just really an overall nice looking vehicle mode. That's him with that. In terms of, say, side swipe, here's side swipe. Again, not too terribly much different. I mean, obviously there's some slight differences in terms of the paint, but that's about it. And of course we have Sunstreaker, which again, identical molds, but really super cool. Oops. Super cool looking. I really love the way that this guy looks. Rolls really well. Now, I'm not going to show you how to transform this guy. I thought about doing it, decided not to, but ultimately I have videos on these two guys, which I'll put a little thing where, like, maybe I'll have you click in this little box or something in this space right here. So if you want to see how to transform, click, clickety click, 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 click right here, click, click, click. Okay, so so that's what, if you want to transform them, that's how you transform them. But overall, very nice vehicle mode. I'm probably going to leave this off, actually, because I think I like the way it looks a little bit better like this. So now let's see how he looks in robot mode. Okay, guys, so here we have Counterpunch in his robot mode. Very nice looking. I really like the way he looks. I love the mold itself, so it was natural that I was going to like this. Can get him a little bit straight. You know, but it's fairly simple. One of the biggest gripes that I had was initially when I bought him, that was as far as that would rotate. I couldn't get his head all the way rotated. I had to actually take it apart and fix the gears that this is on. So now that that's fixed, it's a little bit better. But the other problem that you're going to notice is that he's got a very small head. And I'm going to zoom in. He's got a nice head. That's a nice looking head, but it's small. It's really fairly tiny. And the reason behind that, a lot of people probably, I don't know if they know or they don't know, but a lot of people complained. You can't actually, people have said, you know, why can't you have a regular head in here? You can't actually have a regular head with two sides in here. And I'll show that off on these guys when I transform those and show those for comparison. But they had to make the head smaller to fit into this cavity that slides, that rotates all the way down. If you had a full-size head with two faces on both sides, it wouldn't be able to fit down there. They'd have to redo the internal mechanics of that, and I don't think they really wanted to. But overall, very nice figure. It's got the same level of articulation, obviously, as these guys, where the head will rotate. It's on a little bit of a ball joint, so you get whatever, and you get moving on the arm, rotate, two elbow joints, rotates at the waist, back and forth, the upper thigh, in and out, knee, all that stuff. I mean, overall, very well articulated figure. I really love this mold. I really think it's a great looking figure. And obviously the back is going to become a punch. We're doing things a little differently. Now for his weapon, now I usually have the weapon displayed with him. You can have it just hold this as his weapon, and you can have this. But you're supposed to be able to take it and fit it together in a way that it kind of half-ass clips together. Not really. I mean, it holds on there, but you got to push it. You kind of have to take and set it in here, and then these little grooves here, you have to fold this. It's kind of weird, and then you got to make sure it's pushed up far, and then you squeeze the two bits together, and that'll kind of hold it together. And I usually will keep this as his weapon. It's nothing spectacular. I wish it would actually attach a little bit easier, more secure, but it's not too terribly bad. My good friend JT Mitchell did bring up a problem that that you inherently have when you just reverse it. His hands are backwards. I mean, when you rotate it around looking at his hand, there's his thumb, it's going the wrong way. It should be on the inside, but when you rotate it, that's just the bottom of the hand. So that kind of sucks, but not really much you can do about that. So there is Counterpunch. Now to transform him into Punch, it's actually really simple. You just take this little gizmo here. The head is really stiff. So, and just kind of zooming in here on the head bit, you just take this, you turn him around, and then you fold this back. And it exposes Punch's head, which, again, it's small, and the paint's not too terribly great on it. But there you go. So there, and then you just flip them around, then rotate these legs. I usually will fold these bits down. Now the problem is you're supposed to have the feet like this. And I'll show you what problem that creates. So you have him like so, except now his feet are completely flat and he's leaning back. So he won't stand unless you bend it. And then you have to have his legs bent like so, which I really think just looks retarded. You have his knees chicken-legged going backwards, Starscream style. So I end up having to take him, straighten out the legs, and then putting the feet inside this little crevice. And that gets him standing a little bit better, although not much. He stands like a retard. And I hate using that word, but it's not very good in his visor. Whenever it just falls. There we go. Now we have it. And it actually looks like he has eyes now. So this is how I have him displayed as Punch. Just straight old Punch. He's an Autobot, so this is how he normally would look. Just I really wish they did something differently with the legs. The other minor complaint that I have is when you do rotate it around, you have three screws. I actually took black marker and kind of painted in there, but you can still kind of see that it's not too good. But it's overall not too terribly bad looking. So we're going to set him off to the back, and let's get his G1 self-transformed. And there you have G1 Punch, and then you can kind of see how they stack up. Obviously, the new version is much taller, but it stays true. Oh, slide that forward a little bit. But it stays true in terms of the color scheme and everything, and it's very nice. And both of them have this same gimmick where it's very simple. It just flops and closes and switches faces, and then there's the face of Counterpunch. So very nice looking. Now let's take a look at him next to Sideswipe and Sunstreaker. Okay, guys, so here we have him transformed, and let's see them all lined up next to each other. Sunstreaker, Sideswipe, Punch. I mean, an overall really nice trio of figures. I really like all of them. Now, what I was talking about before, now, if you were to take, these heads are designed for this front of the body. What I mean by that is this rotates perfectly fine and it will hide the head. If you, though, rotate it around, his head won't slide down. That's about as far as it goes. So you really can't do anything. And now, part of it is his ears, but if you also do the same thing with this guy, if you rotate his head around and then try rotating this, it kind of gets jammed in there too, and you can force it in there, but it's not very fluid. So they really didn't want to do anything, apparently, to get new heads or new internal mechanics for that. But overall, this guy really is cool. I really like the way he looks. It's just I wish his head was a little bit better. But there's really not much you can do for the head itself. That's about it, guys. So I want to thank you for tuning in, and until next time, whoop. This is Optibotimus. I'll talk to you later.